Welcome back to the channel. We got a lot of positive comments, a lot of great questions about our last series of videos on how to choose which residential country club in Boca Raton or Delray Beach is best for you. So let's start with, hey Matt, what do you think of
St. Andrew's Country Club?
St. Andrew's Country Club? My dad actually lives there. This is a country club for billionaires, right? Some country clubs have different levels and different entry points. This one's really expensive. There's lots of top, very, very wealthy people that live there, like the late Bernie Marcus, the founder of Home Depot. There are 2 golf courses, plenty of tennis courts, restaurants, catering, everything's great. Everybody I know there is very, very happy. I spend Thanksgiving there quite often. They do wonderful holiday buffets. You know, I raised my family in Woodfield Country Club right across the street. Woodfield is in the city of Boca Raton. St. Andrews is not. St. Andrews is in unincorporated Palm Beach County, so you don't vote for mayor and you don't have city water and city services. You pay a little bit less in taxes because you're just outside of the city, but you still have a Boca Raton address. But really, if you could choose, if you could afford St. Andrew's Country Club, you really can't go wrong. You'll be very happy.
Boca West Country Club.
Boca West Country Club is my absolute favorite. I said my dad lives in St. Andrew's Country Club, but actually he lived in Boca West Country Club for a very long time. I used to go to Boca West Country Club as a child. I always thought if I worked really, really hard, one day I could retire to a place like this. Boca West Country Club has 4 golf courses, which is incredible. Not a swimming pool. They have a whole aquatic complex, and I've seen the renovations over the years. They take this restaurant down and build this restaurant, this building, and it's absolutely fantastic. The housing situation can be a little bit better. What people say is it's a great camp with lousy bunks, but if you can get past the housing situation, and I can help you find a great house, you would be very, very happy in Boca West Country Club. If you like to play cards, if you like to play tennis, play golf, if you like a lot of variety, if you like to always meet new people, if you want to see the same people every day and have a very, very small social circle, not the club for you. This is a city. Thousands of people, great food, great restaurants, the absolute best restaurant in the world, in my opinion. Not the best restaurant in Boca, not the best restaurant in Florida. The best restaurant I've ever been to in my life is Prime Cut, only available to residents of Boca West Country Club. It's primarily a steakhouse, but there's so much more than that. And it really, if you have the opportunity, it could be worth it to buy in Boca West Country Club just for Prime Cut. There's houses at every price point, from 2-bedroom condominiums to mansions. So there's something for everyone in Boca West Country Club. And the last thing I'll say is the days where you could buy an apartment in Boca West Country Club for $1 are over. Those stories were all exaggerated. Yes, you could buy an apartment for $1. The economy had collapsed. And what happened was Boca West Country Club started, it was not a mandatory membership club. When mandatory membership came in, properties that went up in value from $70,000 to $200,000, when mandatory membership came in and people were buying $200,000 plus the membership, when the market crashed and those properties went back down from $200,000 back to $70 minus the country club initiation, it put a real reverse equity situation in for a very long time. But you bought a property for $1, you still had to join the country club. And let me tell you, those people got away with murder because those properties are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars now. So those days are long gone. I sold a lot of properties for fractions of less than $100. It's crazy, but those properties are hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's multi-million-dollar apartments in Boca West Country Club now. It's absolutely fantastic. They have a dog park, shuffleboard courts, basketball court. It's amazing. You can't go wrong. It is absolutely my favorite country club, and I'm waiting to retire and move across the street. Boca West, also unincorporated Palm Beach County, but they're part of the greater Boca Raton Parks and Beach District. So you can use the city parks, the city libraries, and the city beaches. Boca West, a little bit best of all worlds.
Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club.
Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club is great. It's very different than all the other clubs in Boca and Delray. Royal Palm is not mandatory membership. So if you buy a house in Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club, you don't have to join the club. Conversely, you can join the club if you're not a resident. Definitely, you are not required. So plenty of people who live in Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club are not actually members of Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club. I like mandatory membership better. It really does create and foster a sense of community. And of course, this is one of the few choices where you could be in East Boca, as much as I hate to say East Boca, but you could be on the intercoastal, you could be on an intercoastal lot, a dry lot, or a golf course lot. Also, another fun fact, the guard gates, there's two entrances, one on Federal Highway and one on Camino Real. The guard gates at Royal Palm and Yacht and Country Club are fake. Yes, there's a guard house. Yes, there's a guard in it. You do not have to stop. You do not have to acknowledge the guard. You could just drive through and not even look at the guy and just keep driving, because those are not real guard gates. They're just there.
Woodfield Country Club.
Woodfield Country Club, that's the one where I live. Great country club, only one golf course. One of the biggest problems, and I don't want to say anything negative, I'm going to get thrown out, but a lot of times, someone who's a serious golfer, even 20 years ago, when I joined Woodfield Country Club, which was the only real option for people raising a young family, a serious golfer would choose a different club. And you heard about a couple people in St. Andrews or Broken Sound living there, raising their families there, because it was a perception that it was a better golf community with more golf courses. Woodfield Country Club, 1,200 homes, only one golf course. That's really the only negative about the club. But if you want to be in the best community with the best members and have a lot of fun and play pickleball and tennis and wait, one day get golf, then Woodfield Country Club is perfect for you. Broken Sound Country Club is what I would consider perfect. It was the same developer, Arvida, the same developer that built Boca West, but they had that to improve on, and they built an amazing country club, Broken Sound Country Club, also in the city of Boca Raton. You can run for office or vote for mayor. It's a great country club, very, very large. It's not one of the smaller ones, but it's definitely a top Boca Raton country club.
The Polo Club.
Polo Club, also an excellent, excellent country club, not in the city limits, so you're in unincorporated Palm Beach County. Great country club, multiple golf courses, multiple tennis courts. They just started an amazing renovation, and you really owe it to yourself to check it out. This is for someone who's very social, wants to meet a lot of people, because it's a very, very large club. Beautiful house. I love Knightsbridge, and I've been watching the price in Knightsbridge go up, I would say for 30 years, but it's been like 40 years now. Really, really, Polo Club, Knightsbridge, amazing.
Boca Country Club.
Boca Country Club. This is the place you go if you want a smaller, intimate setting. There's less than, I think there's 300 homes. You have no problem getting a tee time. They don't make tee times. They don't offer tee times. You play golf when you want. You form your crew. You have your tight, intimate circle of friends. You're not dealing with hundreds of people, thousands of people. You have a very small, intimate club, and it's really the people that live in Boca or Delray. They're very, very happy. These are two great clubs. If you ask me about Delray, I'll say the same thing about Boca.
Boca Grove.
Boca Grove Country Club. This is the best location in Boca Raton of any country club. It is on the corner of Glades and the Turnpike. When I would vacation in Florida in Boca West, I'd come out of Boca West on Glades Road, jump on the Turnpike. If I wanted to go to see the Panthers play or go to the Sawgrass Mills Mall, it was right there. Boca Grove. I was always so jealous of Boca Grove because right there on Glades and the Turnpike. So if you want to jump up to the airport, to the Hard Rock, the Dolphin Stadium, you're just so much closer than anywhere else in town. I love Boca Grove for that.
The club at Boca Pointe.
Boca Pointe is a great club. Boca Pointe and Boca West were built at the same time. Boca Pointe chose not to go down the mandatory membership route. So they don't require membership, so they don't have as many members. They're not as flush with cash as Boca West Country Club. So whereas Boca West would knock down a clubhouse and rebuild it like probably 5 times in my lifetime, Boca Pointe is still using the original structures, all well maintained, change the carpets, keep it clean, keep it well maintained, but it's not mandatory membership. So the equipment and amenities have gotten a little bit older, but what that means for you is country club lifestyle without the Boca Raton price point. A lot of people move to Boca Pointe and don't join the club. But if you join the club, it's a fantastic club, but it's not the same price point as some of the other clubs we're talking about. So it really is a good option. And especially if you can't get golf at Woodfield, it is a place to get golf. You could actually live in Woodfield and be a member of Boca Pointe, have use of their golf course while you wait the 10 or 15 or 20 years to get off the Woodfield wait list.
Stonebridge Country Club.
Stonebridge Country Club is another sleeper. Again, when the market crashed, you couldn't sell something in Stonebridge to save your life, and places just sat on the market. Then during COVID, everything got gobbled up. You see families coming into Stonebridge Country Club. The amenities are fantastic. They've renovated. They've knocked down certain buildings. They've renovated. Stonebridge is absolutely fantastic. Wonderful country club.
Boca Rio Golf Club.
Boca Rio, is this a trick question? Boca Rio is not a residential country club. There's no houses. You can't, as a real estate agent, I cannot find you a house in Boca Rio Country Club because it's just a club without the residential portion. So if you live in an HOA community like Stone Creek or the Oaks and you would like to play golf, you need a country club. Boca Rio is a great option for you because it can give you the golf and the restaurants and those amenities without joining a residential golf course. So Boca Rio is great.
Boca Woods Country Club.
Boca Woods Country Club, another great community, another sleeper, similar to what I said about Stonebridge, but Boca Woods Country Club, it really changed over the years since COVID. You see school buses coming through, very people that are very happy, great facility, a lot of new construction going on. Boca Woods, highly recommend. Actually, would slightly recommend over Stonebridge, but that's just me. But opinions are like noses, everyone has one.
The Addison Reserve Country Club.
Addison Reserve is a great country club. It's in Delray, not Boca. Don't hold it against it. But yeah, it's a great club. It doesn't have the same panache or reputation as Broken Sound or Polo Club, but I think it's just as good. And it was just the next one being built. I think what happened was they built Addison Country Club. Everybody bought. Everybody was happy, and then nobody heard about it again because people were just living there and they're happy. So there was nothing to advertise and nothing to sell.
Finally, Gleneagles Country Club.
Gleneagles Country Club, this is one of my favorite country clubs. I've sold a lot in Gleneagles. A lot of my friends from Battleground Country Club in New Jersey are buying in Gleneagles. You can get condos, you can get single family homes. There's lots of different choices between golf, tennis. Everybody's very happy. If you say to me, hey Matt, I want to buy a country club, but I can't afford Woodfield, St. Andrews, so what are our other options? And people are thinking they can't even join a country club. Yes, you can. Gleneagles, Boca Woods, Stonebridge, these are great country clubs without the price tag of some of the more expensive ones. All right, I hope you enjoyed my first impressions on multiple, I think we did 15 country clubs in Boca Raton, Delray Beach. I hope I didn't get in trouble, say anything insulting. I don't think I did, but all opinions are mine and they don't represent the signature or the guy that makes my videos. He has nothing to do with this. We could sign a waiver. Hope you enjoyed these videos. If you have any more questions about the clubs that we covered, please let me know. And if you would like to hear my first impression about any other country clubs, just let me know. I'm happy to tell you about it. I'm happy to show you around the different country clubs, because remember, first you pick the club, then we find you a house in that club, unless it's Boca Rio.